Yeah, so before we start anything, real quick, because it's been one of those like ADHD things. So, for Sonic CD, there's Stardust Speedway Good Future. When we looked at the way the palette and like all the graphics are set up, this was years ago by the way, we kind of noticed that it was meant to have like some palette transitions and stuff. Back in the day, we made a little mod that would bring that kind of stuff back, and it worked really well. We made this like 6 years ago. No, wait, hang on. Yeah, well, it was only like 4 years ago. At the very least 4 years ago. This is what it normally looks like. As you can see, there's like nothing going on here. No palette, whatever. No palette transitions whatsoever, whatever. It's very static. It's a very static stage, especially compared to like the other acts. Yeah, there's like some palette transitions here. I don't think past has anything, and present. Yeah, present has blinking lights here. Hang on. It's got some stars. It's got the thing going on here. This one. Look at the way it's set up, especially like compared to like Bad Future and Present. This just feels so dead. We went back, made a little mod. You know, it makes a whole lot more sense now. Now at the time, it was just for, you know, these ones. It was just like this kind of like thing would have like transitions and stuff. And at the time I was like, okay, yeah, maybe that was it. But then, no, I checked the palette again and I was like, wait, there's meant to be even more. Because like when you check the background and stuff, there's all this stuff here too. And it looks gorgeous now. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So like that had me wondering, what is it like in the actual original? This is what this is. We did the following. We grabbed the Protoslop source, slapped this stuff at the very end, build like a little bit of code that we can inject into Sonic CD. And because of the way Sonic CD works, all of the code is stored in CD-RAM. It is all just there. You can just modify a save state and pretty much reprogram the entire game if you really wanted to. But we didn't need to reprogram the entire game, we just needed to like insert a little bit of something in there. So, this is the code we just made. Copy that stuff, and then it was just like figuring out what part of Sonic CD had a place where you can just like execute this. There is a disassembly. It's not great, but we didn't need a full disassembly anyways. We just needed a rough location. As we made a save state, we went onto here. I actually kind of had to like figure out what the format was for the save states. It's like kind of like sectioned around, and if you have like the Mega CD on, it like adds even more stuff at the very bottom of the save state file. So like we know that this is where we need to execute our little like payload, because this is the start of the Sonic object code. Right here, there's a return. We just kind of paste right, save that, and then we just load state. And there we are. We have our little palette transitions working in the working in the original version. Now, of course, because of this is like injected in there, listen in on this. This is what it sounds like when you attempt to like peel out. Yeah. It's just not working correctly. Because as it turns out, the start of the Sonic object code actually just checks for the peel out and the spin dash, which is completely different from like literally every other game. Yeah, it's pretty much a vacuum cleaner. I like to call it a dentist drill. You know, dentist drill. The palettes still look great in the original. The only thing that's a bit different is the fact that like one of these like lights also suffers from the palette transition as well. But honestly, I think it looks fine. I think it looks great. Yeah, there it is. All the cool stuff at the bottom. It's all still like shining pretty neatly. In fact, I think it works better here because yeah, especially with the I really like the way this one looks. I really like the way this one looks with the clock there, especially here because like in the 2011 remaster of the game, some of the colors might have been mixed up with the player colors. So like some transitions don't actually like work correctly, and I believe the very top, hang on. Yeah, the stars here at the top don't shine as much. Obviously because of the way this hack works, since it is purely done by modifying the save state, once you transition into like anything else, if you just like, you know, do anything that isn't just like perishing, it completely undoes the entire thing. So like, for example, if I go into the past, there's no more palette transition. Like, after putting it back on and like getting to see what it's actually like meant to look like, this just doesn't look right. This just doesn't look right anymore. It's so dead. It's so dead looking. Like, I'm just spoiled by this. Like, this definitely seems to be like the thing that was like intended for the zone. Now, because this is just a save state hack, we can just like modify it to our heart's content. So say we go back to this, we can just set this to 0, so like it just happens every frame. On our end, it just looks orange, by the way. Yeah, that's just from modifying a save state. You could just like do any arbitrary code here. Which leads me to another thing. I think of all the games, of all the mainline games here, I think Sonic CD is the only one that has like the potential for arbitrary code execution. Maybe S3 and K if you add in debug mode, but CD especially, I think that's the only one that has like, is like the biggest candidate for arbitrary code execution. If a save state can do it, then some random button input can probably do it better.